KWWL Television, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids.
This is the News Center 7 10 o'clock report. The latest news, weather, and sports.
Good evening.
Channel 7, KWWL, Waterloo, Cedar Rapids.
On News Center 7 tonight, this shovelful of dirt marks the beginning of 100 new jobs for Traer. A new company is coming to town.
And a lot of people are pooling their efforts to keep the needy warm and well this winter. The unemployed of Black Hawk County are the targets.
This is the News Center 7 6 o'clock report with Ron Steele, Liz Mathis, Sports Director Bob Hogue, and meteorologist Craig Johnson in the Weather Center.
Good evening. When you talk about 100 jobs in a town of just 1,700 people, you're talking about a big...
Good morning. This is your first news of the day on KWWL, Iowa's news channel. With Linda Hudwalker, meteorologist Jed Castles, and farm news with Dale Hansen.
Good morning. Welcome to a full hour of First News on this Friday, September 18th, 1992.
This is the KWWL News at 6 with Ron Steele and Liz Mathis.
The State Board of Education has handed down a defeat for the Waterloo Board of Education in its efforts to control the number of students transferring out of the Waterloo Community School District. Good evening, everyone. Last October, the board decided to limit in
This is KWWL, Iowa's news channel. The news more Eastern Iowans watch than all other broadcast and cable channels. With Ron Steele, Liz Mathis, meteorologist Craig Johnson, and sports with Brian Leslie. This is KWWL News at 6.
You mean to say everybody that goes out patrol has to wear these?
You're watching Iowa's news channel. This is the KWWL News at 10 with Tammy Winesek.
A murder suspect is still on the loose tonight. Cedar Rapids police hope the public will help find him. Good evening, everyone. Tammy is off this weekend. I'm Linda Hudwalker. Cedar Rapids police have released the name and photo.
Watching KWWL, Iowa's news channel.
This is the KWWL Morning News at 5:30 with Linda Hudwalker, weather with meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg, and farm news with Dale Hansen.
Good morning, everyone. It is 5:30 on this Friday, July 24th, a RAGBRAI Friday here in Cedar Falls. We're at Hanson and Holmes Elementary School in Cedar Falls, where many
Iowa's news channel.
This is the KWWL News at 10 with Tammy Winesek, weather with meteorologist Jeff Kennedy, and sports with Rick Coleman.
Good evening, everyone. A breaking story to report out of Washington County tonight.
You're watching Iowa's news channel. This is the KWWL News at 6. Coverage you can count on. This is KWWL, Iowa's news channel, with Ron Steele, Bobby Earls, weather with Chief Meteorologist Craig Johnson, and sports with Brian Leslie. You're watching the KWWL News at 6, coverage you can count on. This is KWWL, Iowa's news channel, with Tammy Winesek, weather with meteorologist Jeff Kennedy, and sports with Rick Coleman. You're watching the KWWL News at 10. Coverage you can count on.
You're watching KWWL, Iowa's News Channel 7, with Chris Carter, Sunny Lane, and meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg. This is the KWWL News at noon.
We're given the current
Live at 10.
Big devastation type stuff, but we can rebuild. 1 week after a massive tornado, people in Parkersburg pledged to continue that massive rebuilding effort. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Waters. You know, last Sunday's tornado.
Good morning. You're watching KWWL, Iowa's News Channel 7. This is Today in Iowa.
Coming up on Today in Iowa, no renewal. Hundreds of alcohol citations has a city council putting its foot down, threatening to close doors.
Then the named Best Newscast in Iowa. This is Iowa's News Channel 7 with Chris Carter, Sunny Lane, and meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg. This is Today in Iowa.
Thursday, July 30th. Good morning. I'm Chris Carter.
And I'm Sunny Lane. A great day to be outside yesterday. Will we see more sun today?
Meteorologist Mark Schnackenberg here.
Named Best Newscast in Iowa. This is Live at 5.
Tonight right here at 5, the hazards of tanning beds. A new report shows they can be just as dangerous as cigarettes. Plus, a rural eastern Iowa post office set to close. We'll hear why. And a school under construction tagged by vandalism. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tara Thomas. Ron is off tonight.
Named Best Newscast in Iowa. This is the news at 6.
Tonight, right here at 6, Representative Carrie Burt's attorney claims it's all a misunderstanding. We have continuing coverage tonight. Plus, builders wanted. There is a shortage of volunteers for one eastern Iowa nonprofit. Why it could leave 20 families without a roof over their head. And a port of progress, once an eyesore, now a focal point. What's next for Dubuque's Great Harbor? Good evening, everybody. I'm Tara Thomas. Ron is on assignment tonight.
Named Best Newscast in Iowa. This is Iowa's News Channel 7 with Ron Steele, Tara Thomas, meteorologist Jeff Kennedy, and sports with Rick Coleman. This is the KWWL News at 6. Best Newscast in Iowa. This is the news at 10.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tara Thomas. Ron is off tonight.
You're watching KWWL. We've got you covered. This is Today in Iowa.
Now on Today in Iowa, 1 year later and still no big break in an eastern Iowa death investigation. See how a community is helping to keep his memory alive.
Plus, this is not a flood backing up traffic on a major highway, but it sure looks like one. Find out what caused a massive overflow of water.
And lawmakers go overtime to extend a surveillance program, one that many Americans say crosses the line. So were they able to cut a deal in time, or did that program expire? We'll let you know coming up. Well, good morning to you and welcome to Today in Iowa on this.
You're watching KWWL, recipient of the Regional Emmy for Best Morning Newscast, with Jeff Eliasoff, Natasha Chugtai, and meteorologist Eileen Lone. This is Today in Iowa.
And it is Monday, May the 7th. Good morning. I'm Jeff Eliasoff.
And I'm Natasha Chugtai. We had great weekends. Hopefully you did as well.
You're watching KWWL. We've got you covered. This is the news at noon.
Good afternoon on this Monday afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm Allie Crutcher.
You're watching KWWL. We've got you covered with Allie Crutcher and meteorologist Eileen Lone. This is the KWWL News at noon.
Well,
this is the KWWL News at 5.
Pentagon sources tonight say the United States could launch an attack on Syria yet this week. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Steele.
And I'm Amanda Goodman. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're watching KWWL. We've got you covered. This is the news at 6.
New for you tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to hear from the hunters who found the bodies of Elizabeth and Lyric 1 year ago today in Bremer County.
And the superintendent of the Waterloo School District announces his plans to retire.
And all across the country, fast food employees and those in favor of wages at $15 an hour were rallying.
You're watching KWWL. We've got you covered. This is the news at 10.
Coming up here tonight, live at 10 o'clock, area students are moving forward in a national competition for their invention, a unique invention because it won't let you move backwards. 2 teenagers in Iowa dead, another facing charges tonight in a crash. Reports say both drivers had been drinking. And a family of 8 forced out of their home by a fire.
Completely turned your world upside down.
More on the family in just a moment. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Steele. Thanks for joining us tonight. Amanda is off this week.
You're watching KWWL. We've got you covered. With Ron Steele, Amanda Goodman, Chief Meteorologist Mark Snackenberg, and sports with Rick Coleman. This is the KWWL News at 10. Live from KWWL, we've got you covered. This is Today in Iowa.
Now on Today in Iowa, the snow is here, leaving behind slick road conditions, plus how much more on the way. But first, good morning and welcome to Today in Iowa. Happy Sunday. As we take a live look outside with our Dubuque Sky Cam, you can see a lot of white stuff on the ground.
This is Today in Iowa with Allie Quetcher, Daniel Wynn, and Storm Track 7 meteorologist Kyle Keel. We've got you covered.
This is Today in Iowa with Daniel Wynn, Olivia Schmidt, and Storm Track 7 meteorologist Kyle Keel. We've got you covered.
There.
Winner of the Regional Emmy for Best Newscast. This is KWWL News at noon.
Now in the news at noon, snow blanketing eastern Iowa this afternoon. This is a live look at I-380 near Evansdale, where someone went off the road not too long ago. The fresh tracks in the snow show us how slippery things are right now. We have Team 7 coverage of the snow coming up. Plus, the cold creates a tragedy. Why it's so important to take extra steps to care for your pets this time of year. And buzzing no more. A family business in Iowa targeted by vandals. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the news at noon. I'm Jerry Gallagher. Big story of the day, of course, the snow.
KWWL News at noon with Jerry Gallagher and Storm Track 7 meteorologist Kyle Keel. We've got you covered. Live from KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 5.
Got in here last night, so we're really surprised to say the least.
Tonight here live at 5 o'clock, a man traveling hundreds of miles to visit his family here in Iowa, only to find out that his mother-in-law, 98 years old, will soon be out of a home.
Then a car chase ends with one girl injured, a sex offender arrested. We'll hear from a man saying he saw the whole thing go down.
Thanksgiving Eve, so be sure to defrost that turkey, check your tires, fill up the tank. Lots of Eastern Iowans are on their way to Thanksgiving Day celebrations, beating the stress on the busiest travel day of this year. And good evening, everyone. I'm Ron Steele.
And I'm Amanda Goodman. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, it's a big travel day.
Live from News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 5.
Now at 5, what could have been a devastating disaster has instead sparked a community response. Plus, one week.
From News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 6.
Tonight live here at 6 o'clock, floodwaters overtaking homes and belongings. Cleanup efforts are
Live from News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 6.
We are following breaking news here tonight at 6 o'clock. An Anamosa State Penitentiary nurse.
Live from News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 10.
Tornadoes touch down across Iowa and leave a catastrophic.
Live from News 7 KWWL, we've got you covered. This is KWWL News at 10.
Tonight at 10 o'clock, Congresswoman Marinette Miller-Meeks campaigns for re-election with some help from Washington, D.C. and residents in Oklahoma.
You're watching Iowa's News Channel, coverage you can count on.